Welcome back to Factastic Stories. In today's video, we'll be answering some intriguing questions that you might have never thought about. Have you ever wondered why archaeologists rarely find skeletons at the site of the Battle of Waterloo? Or whether it's really possible to navigate through a forest by looking at moss on trees? And what about the chess match that ended with a double defeat? We'll delve into the answers to these and more in this episode. So, let's get started. What makes a dog's face more appealing to humans than a wolf's face? The facial muscles of wolves and dogs are very similar, but one muscle that lifts the inner eyebrow is much more developed in dogs. Scientists believe that a mutation that caused this could have become an important part of dogs' domestication by humans in the distant past. When dogs lift their eyebrows, their eyes become bigger, like a child's, which appeals to humans. Additionally, this movement mimics the expression of a sad person, which evokes a desire to care for the four-legged friend. Which website was sold by its owners for almost $1 billion, but was bought back years later for just $1 million. The social networking site Weibo was developed by Michael and Sochi Birch in 2005, and sold 3 years later to AOL at the peak of its popularity for $850 million. However, Weibo, unable to withstand competition from Facebook, was sold to investment fund Criterion, and in 2013 the Birches bought it back for $1 million. They closed the site for a while and completely reformatted it, launching a new version that once again attracted a certain mass of users. In 2019, they sold it to Amazon for $25 million. As of 2022, the site is closed with no announced plans for its development. What special operating mode do household appliances provide for Israel market? Some manufacturers of household appliances equip devices intended for sale in Israel and beyond with an additional Shabbat mode option. It is forbidden for Jews to engage in work related to any creation on the Sabbath, which historically included kindling a fire. Technological progress has forced the prohibition to be extended to the use of electrical appliances, including pressing buttons, as it causes a contact closure. In the Shabbat mode, for example, ovens maintain the temperature of the food prepared the day before, and the lights in refrigerators do not turn on after the door is open. Elevators in Shabbat mode continuously move, stopping on each floor and allowing time for passengers to board and disembark. How does the brain maintain a coherent picture of the surrounding world despite changing parameters of perception? A person often shifts focus and direction of gaze, yet the brain recognizes an object seen from different angles and under varying lighting conditions as the same one. Scientists believe that the maintenance of a coherent picture of the surrounding world occurs through the averaging of visual information. In one experiment, participants were shown a video of a human face aging for half a minute, and then asked to name the person's age. Almost all participants underestimated the age by an amount that corresponded to the timestamp of the video 15 seconds ago. This is approximately the width of the interval of visual perception, smearing. Who were clients and patrons in ancient Rome? The word client has Latin origins, but in ancient Rome it had a different meaning than its modern usage. Clients were dependent people from the plebeian class who sought patronage from patricians in order to obtain land or the opportunity to pursue a craft, but they were not considered slaves. Clients were obliged to accompany their patron to war and support them in elections, and in return, they received their patron's family name and some financial support, although they were themselves expected to financially support their patron if necessary. Why did a paperclip become a national symbol of Norway? During the occupation of Norway by the Third Reich, residents were forbidden to display the national flag or symbols associated with the exiled king, and some Norwegians began wearing ordinary paperclips on their clothing as a sign of national unity. After the war, the paperclip solidified as a national symbol, aided by the widespread story that it was Norwegian Johan Voller who patented it in the early 20th century, and a monument to the paperclip was even erected in Oslo. However, Voller's patent was not the first, and his design lacked the second loop that keeps the paperclip from slipping off the paper or deforming it. The classic two-looped, rounded-cornered design was actually first produced by the British company Gem Manufacturing Limited in 1892. How did a night stop in a small village bring great profits to Dutch traders? After World War II, the Netherlands occupied a small piece of territory in Germany that included the village of Elton. In 1963, the two countries agreed to return it in exchange for compensation. On the night of August 1, the official date of the jurisdiction change, Dutch businessmen flooded Elton with trucks carrying coffee, oil, and other goods that were significantly more expensive in Germany. By morning, the vehicles automatically found themselves on German soil, so no import duties had to be paid for the goods. Through this operation, the traders earned an amount equivalent to more than 20 million euros. Can you orient yourself in the forest by the location of moss on trees? Those who are lost in the forest are often advised that they can determine the direction of north by the side of the trees where more moss grows. The statement is not without logic. After all, mosses obtain water only from the surrounding environment, so they prefer damp places, and since the sun shines most from the south, mosses are more comfortable on the north side of the trunk. However, this rule will be rarely followed. In sparse forests with low humidity, in dense forests with tall shrubs and grasses, or in swampy areas, moss grows equally on all sides. The slope is also important. Trees rarely grow strictly vertically, and mosses are more likely to choose the spot where more water flows after rain at their feet. Why do archaeologists rarely find skeletons at the site of the Battle of Waterloo? Throughout the history of archaeological excavations at the site of the Battle of Waterloo, only a few skeletons have been found, even though thousands of soldiers and horses were buried in mass graves. A large number of bones were collected by workers at Belgian sugar factories. Bone meal was used in the whitening process of brown sugar obtained from sugar beets at that time. Another part of the remains was processed into fertilizer. When and where did the chess match end in a defeat for both participants? When opponents in a chess tournament arrange a draw in the final round to achieve their goals, they can easily achieve such a result. In 1975, at the tournament in Luton, a draw suited both Anthony Miles, who would become the winner of the competition in such a case, and Stuart Rubin. The players agreed to a peaceful outcome without even making the first move, but instead of recording a draw, which would have given the chess players 1/2 point each, the referee decided to award 0 points to each. This is the only chess match in history that ended with a result of 0-0. Thank you for watching our video about some fascinating facts. We hope you learned something new and interesting today. If you have any other questions or topics you'd like us to cover in future videos, please let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel for more fun and informative content. Until next time.